Yay! I think we're on. Well, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning to wherever you may be, and welcome to another super boring live stream. So, what we have got queued up for you guys this evening is going to be me talking and a couple of little technology demos for you. Now, I did somewhat screw up though. Not that that's in my um, not that that's in my nature. Like, I don't often screw up. I just screw up plenty. You see, I had planned to do an outside broadcast tonight to show you the Grey Goose. But then, about an hour ago, I realized it was pitch dark outside and you wouldn't be able to see anything. So that plan had to be rather quickly scrapped. So we will instead be probably just making a normal video about the Grey Goose, and we will give you guys a little bit of detail on it then. But I got myself another conversion project, and yeah, because like that's what I really need is another conversion project because I don't have enough of them. But this one kind of fell into my lap, and yeah, kind of fallen in love with the thing, and now I can't really leave it because I got to rescue cats and cars. So we've got another car. This one is a 2003 E46 Touring. It's quite a nice grey colour. This one has an absolutely completely dead, crapped out, melted 6-cylinder engine in it, so that's going to come out, and we're going to need to put some kind of an electric drivetrain in it. And I got to figure out the usual suspects, but I don't know, guys. I'm probably not going to make this into too much of a video series project kind of a thing. I want to try and do something a little bit different with it. I don't want to bore all of you to tears with just another round of EV conversion videos. We got to try and do something a little bit. Got to try and up the game a bit. By the way, I hope that you can all hear me, see me, all that kind of thing. Give me a thumbs up there on the comments and let me know. According to this, it's green here on the old YouTube health streaming thing, but given that I'm not exactly the most Cecil B of this game, God knows I'm probably, I don't know, maybe I'm just streaming to myself here. Anyway, we've got a couple things on the bench that I want to show you guys, and then we will do a bit of a questions and answers session. But one of the things I just wanted to clear up, and it's a bit of a weird one, and I feel a little bit strange talking about it on here, is I just want to clarify something about myself here. You see, I kind of have fallen into what I'm doing now more by luck than judgment. And a lot of people along the way have made it possible for me to do this stuff now. And it's not only that I'm doing this because I want to. I'm doing it because I kind of have to, because I've reached a point in my life that I don't really want to work for anyone. Now, you hear a lot of people saying that, and about being self-employed and all that, about I couldn't hold down a job and all this kind of thing. But one of the things about me right now is that I'm doing this stuff for me now. I'm doing what I'm doing because it's what I want to do. And that doesn't seem to suit quite a few people out there. And some people seem to take it when I make a video about something and seem to have this notion that, well, if I have time to be doing this, well, I have time to be doing their project for them. And sadly, that's not how things work. A lot of people helped me get here, and I definitely want to help people back. I want to pay back out into the world, but it'll be at my pace, guys. All right, it'll be at my pace, or it won't be at all, because I'm not in this for. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the publicity. I'm not in it for anything. I'm just in it because it's what I want to do, and it's what I believe in. So I don't know if any of that makes sense to people, but just kind of something I wanted to get said. Even sounds strange saying it, but, and this is kind of funny because I can actually talk to the camera a lot easier than I can talk to people sometimes. I find it kind of hard to talk to people, but the piece of plastic and silicon here that's talking to people, I guess that bit's easy. Anyway, that's it about me. Let's go have a talk about what's on the bench here in front of me. By the way, let me just see if you guys are hearing me or seeing me. How am I coming through? Oh, good. Okay, so I'm all right. So we're all good. Diesel Damien. Well, yeah, great. Okay, I'll try not to be. I guess most of you guys, that kind of follow some of the videos and that will know that one of the things that I really enjoy working on is the power electronics and the control mechanisms. I think sometimes the building the cars is a bit of a side effect because I need, somewhere to test it. I don't think I would be happy with just, having a test bench alone. You could say, oh, I got 100 kilowatts today, or I got a 200 kilowatts tomorrow or something. I think it's putting some of that into a car that you can actually get in and drive and, put it into the wall. Oh, speaking of putting cars into the wall, this is kind of a two-way thing, because got word from Chip Foose, the Panzer is out of the paint shop and is ready to come back. So return of the Panzer is quite imminent. And that is going to take quite a bit of my run time, because the Panzer is going to need a good bit of love. We got a lot of integration stuff to do and a lot of, tidy ups and that. And but getting back from the paint shop that's going to be mega kind of scary overhauling type of, I'm going to be, I'm going to be a basket case. So yeah, I'm going to need Dave to, kind of support me and give me, comfort and a shoulder to cry into, because I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty good. Anyway, so that leads me then to the next phase. One of the things I want to do this year is I want to do some more track days, but I ain't going to do them in the Panzer, particularly after paying Mr. Foose to bring her back to showroom state. So what we need a car that we don't mind putting into the wall and turning upside down in. To that end, just up on the shelf there, I have two 6-point harnesses that will hopefully keep me in the seat when, start doing the old cartwheels. Also, a bit less power would be a good thing, because putting Muppet here into a vehicle with 400 horsepower was probably never going to really end well. But getting back to my point, because I'm wandering off on 100 different tangents now probably. But hey, this is the beauty of following a script, right? Inverters. Did a video there about a week or two ago about this inverter here. I'll give you a closer look in a few minutes, but it's the design done by Paul Holmes in America, and it implements, to the best of my knowledge, field orientated control of an induction motor, and it's been something I've wanted to test out for a long time. So I got it running here just on the bench, made a little video about it, but then I kind of figured, well, I want to put it in a car to be able to test it. And then I figured, well, I've got my old E46 saloon track car down at Dave's, and I figure let's put this inverter in that. So did some seat of the pants modifications today to get it into a kind of a condition that we'll be able to run it in the vehicle. So this guy is going to get pretty much cable tied into the back of the old track car, rig up a cooling system with some garden hose, and then we're gonna, you know, Paul's doing some software for me, and we'll see we'll see what we get out of this. So I'll give you guys a little demo of this now in a few minutes, but one of the other things that I have been looking at is how do we have some kind of a nice display of information about an electric vehicle. So like, there's been a few attempts over the years to get something, you know, that would work on an Android device like a phone or a tablet or something like that. And there was one brought out back a good few years ago now by EMW in California, which is their Android display. Now, unfortunately, that became a bit of a dead project because there was no further development done, and they're no longer selling it. I don't think they're doing anything of that sort anymore. So I have been working on reverse engineering some of the hardware for that, because I had wanted to make a few more of them, because I've got one in the 39 and it works really, really well. I've had it in there for 4 years or so now, and it's never missed a beat. This thing is running 24/7, and so I wanted to try and find something else. But then I happened to be browsing around a forum, and I came across what I'm going to show you in a few minutes now is called the Power Watcher. Now, this little guy, let me get the camera up here close to this board for you. I'm going to take the mic off here for a sec. It's not a very long lead. Let me see. So this little board here that you're zoomed in on now, this is the Power Watcher PCB. And this little guy is designed and manufactured by a gentleman in the Ukraine. And it is a fantastic monitoring and display system that basically monitors pretty much everything that you could ever want to know about your electric vehicle, and displays that via a Bluetooth module on any Android device. I've just briefly powered the thing up today and rigged it up to the inverter here, and it pretty much worked just straight out of the box. Now, there's a couple of things I don't like about it and a few things I'd like to modify. But for $55, this is just an incredible find. The website is powerwatcher.net. And I could, even at this point now, I could definitely recommend it. Now, as I say, there's a few things that I would be concerned with, that we would like to possibly change or, you know, work around somehow. But that'll be for a later video. I'll go into more detail about this, but just wanted to introduce it to you guys this evening. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a tablet over here now, and I'm going to show you how this little guy works. Let me grab the tablet, and is it working? Yeah, the tablet's working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on some power here now. Hopefully it won't all blow up. This is the part I think that Dave is looking forward to. We've managed to trip a circuit breaker, so that kind of counts. Alright, so let me turn this on here. So we'll see a couple of little LED flashes there, and so what I'm going to do is just get you guys zoomed in here, and I will show you the little Android app that we have for this thing. Now this is on the PowerWatcher website as well, and just going to hit that, and it's a little slow. Maybe it's just the tablet's a little bit slow, but it'll come up there now in it takes about 10 seconds. There we are. So what you're getting now is the first page, and you'll see up here now it's picking up the supply voltage that we're feeding to the high voltage on the inverter. It's a bit of noise on the current sensor and a couple of things like that, because I haven't done any of the configuration on this. I've just pretty much left it as I've seen it coming out of the box, as it were. But we're seeing a couple of things here, like we're seeing, as I say, the voltage, the current. There's one of the temperature sensors here. Like if I just, I don't know which one of the temperature sensors it's reading, but there it is, that one. So if I just, on that temperature sensor, you'll see it starting to change there, that kind of thing, or either that or I'm clinically dead, which is always a possibility. There's various other pages here. There's a configuration page. There's another page of data that you can get, and that's when the tablet is in the kind of vertical orientation. The real fun comes when you flip the thing. So if I flip the tablet over like that, we start to get a nice groovy display. So let me see if I can, I don't know if I really have designed these tablets to be completely stand-upable, haven't I? I mean, yeah, this is really professional, Damien. Congratulations. Let me get this heavy roll of solder and wedge it against it. There we go. All right. So how you guys seeing this? Let me get you in a bit closer. There we go. So you get this kind of really neat display here. All of these gauges, like the voltage, the speed, the power, the battery level, all that stuff is completely configurable and programmable. So you can set all of that up from the configuration screen, and you can also then scroll across and see some more data when you're in the horizontal or landscape settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the 12 volt feed to the inverter here now. And yay, nothing's going to happen. Well, that's positive, isn't it? was kind of hoping it might power up so I could actually show you this thing working, but I guess that has decided that it doesn't want to happen. And the reason that that happens is something that I forgot to modify today. Yes, well done, Damien. The reset circuit on the DS PIC on our trusty board here is not giving the M-Clear pin sufficient pull down to guarantee a successful startup. So that's something we need to fix. Yay, all right. Just managed it that time. So you just heard the main contactor come in. If I give it a little bit of throttle, we start spinning our motor. And of course nothing happens because I think our Bluetooth has decided to disconnect. Now that's one of the things that concerns me about this. As I said, I'll cover it in a later video, but it derives its power supply directly from the high voltage. And unfortunately, the high voltage in a system like this is going to have a lot of noise on it. Now I don't know if it's going to reconnect by itself or whether it's just going to sit there. Yeah, I think we're pretty much just going to sit there just to annoy me. So let's see if I can make something happen here. I'm going to try and shut it down and restart it. Good old Microsoft solution to problems. Well, yeah, this is one of the things, as I say, that I don't like is this. Okay, we're back, I think. Yeah, we're back. All right, let's give it some throttle. Yeah, there you go. You can see we're getting some power now. You'll see the voltage dip as I accelerate the motor. Now there's not much happening, as I say, on the bar graphs because, as I haven't done much configuring, but if I just do current there now, you should be able to see that. There you go. So, the good news is that I think we have the workings of a very good Android-based display system that we'll be able to use for our vehicles. Now that's pretty darn important, and it's at a very good price point, something that most people should be able to access. In fact, I think I'm going to buy a few more of these from the guy. Now, as I said, I don't, there's a few things I'd like to change on it, but you know what, we can deal with that. So, all right, that is our Power Watcher little demo. So what I want to do is, while we're here, I will show you guys the inverter here, give you a little bit of a better close-up on it. So this is our Paul Holmes inverter here. This is the board. It's a single board system, and I've added in a few bits here just so we'll be able to install it as a single unit into the E46 track car. The most important of that is this little guy here, which is a 12 volt to 24 volt DC to DC converter, because this needs 24 volts to run the gate drivers. Put some terminal block in here so we can connect stuff, and basically also put in a pre-charge relay. Did some just wiring to the main contactor and so on that was originally in this inverter. And so yeah, this guy is pretty much ready to go. I've just got to put it in the vehicle, and hopefully we'll be able to start doing some testing. Just going to rig up a pretty rudimentary cooling system and a few things like that. But just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a show on that. We have it rigged up at the minute to the horrible Innova motor, because that's again what's in the E46. So, all right, let me knock off some of the noise making stuff here now, and yeah, that can go off as well. So, all right, there we go. So at this point, I will try to answer some of your questions, and hopefully haven't driven everyone completely daft at this stage, apart from myself. So, talk to me, Goose. What's the story? Do I need a picture frame holder? Okay, well, maybe I do. Why does the voltage go up if the current goes up? Well, it does so because it's regenning as I release the throttle. And because we're not connected to a battery, that regen current just pretty much kicks the voltage up, both in the bus capacitors here in the inverter and in my much abused power supply. How about Super Chat? What is Super Chat? Yeah, well, one of the things, I suppose, one of the things about me doing open source stuff is that I touched upon this with the EMW display, is that that's a classic example of a very good product that the community needs, that is basically now dead, because somewhere on some distant hard disk sits the software and schematics and the PCB layouts and all the work that went into making that a product is just basically sitting gathering dust. Whereas at least if it was an open source product, me or somebody else could grab that and bring it back to life. And that's one of the chief driving decisions behind why I make a lot of the stuff that I do open source. Now, make no mistake, I don't make all of it open source. I would say probably about 70 to 75% of what I do is that because at some point, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. And if there's some of the stuff that I've done that can help people further down the road that I'm not even conscious of, well, that's great. And at least they don't become lost. They just don't become dead projects that someone's done and put work into and then can just die off, which I think a lot of things do. Now there's a lot, there's, you can argue against and for, but that's kind of why, guys. Did I add snubber caps to the Ansaldo power stage? No, I did not. It's pretty crap, and I don't expect it to. I don't expect it to survive. But we'll see. I'm not. I put this thing together mostly with glue. So it's more to get some experience with Paul's control system and give him a bit of feedback on what's going on in an actual vehicle. So I'm not really sure what this mess job here is going to do when I start trying to push some real current through it. it might pretty much decide to go pop. But if it does, yeah, it does. Well, I'll try to keep them coming, guys. I don't know if I'll be always able to do that. What does Elon Musk announcement mean to me? He said he was releasing patents. Yes. Well, if I wanted to, I don't know. They've released patents, yes, but they most certainly haven't released their software, their circuit diagrams, or any of the really juicy stuff. At least to the best of my knowledge. And I hate reading patents. I think Elon himself even said something to the effect of patents are a one-way ticket to a court case or something like that. But no, I don't really think it has any bearing on stuff I'm doing. Now, that being said, on the Tesla front here, I do have another board in the works. We did just recently release the Gen 3 charger controller. Few teething problems with that, but I've got 2 of them up and running now, so that's good news. But yeah, we've another Tesla board in the works. Will this one be open source? May or may not, depends on a few things going on at the minute. Most likely will at some point, but we'll definitely be letting you guys know. Will there be smoke? I hope not. The Prius stuff, yeah. I do need to get back to looking at the Prius inverter. I do have the Gen 3 is there on the bench. I have my little boards, and as you guys probably know, I found that connector I had to get from Japan for the driver board. So I got to get that back on the bench. Now, good news is this thing will be out of here this week, so we can start getting a look at the Prius inverter then, hopefully soon enough. I do have the Siemens. I got to get finished as well, so I'm going to kind of juggle those as best I can for you guys. We got to start looking at a board design for the Siemens fairly soon. But yeah, I'll be getting back to the Prius. Super Chat allows us to send money to you. Wow, in the live chat. Oh, that would be fun. I guess that's something I'm going to have to research. Didn't know that, so thanks for the tip. Yeah, that'd be handy. Then you guys could pay me to rant, and I could rant for hours if I get paid. I mean, look at me, I can rant for hours now, and I'm not getting paid. So that's got to be, yeah, that's got to be something we definitely want to do. So, what else we got going on? Too many damn projects. But I don't know if I'd like it any other way, though. I don't know. Don't think I would. I don't think I'd get bored. So, gotta work out what I'm doing with the E46. As I said, I'm gonna save that for a video. It just got dark. I, didn't realize it was February and not June. So yeah. Hello, McFly. Hello. What else you got for me, guys? Oh, YouTube take 30% of the donation. Of course they do. Jesus. Oh man. Why am I not surprised? I guess YouTube are, I don't know, I'm not really worried about it because it's not it doesn't really affect me at the level I'm at. But I do see other channels that I follow um, are definitely getting a bit of the short end of the stick from YouTube in terms of I don't know, how would you call it? There's all kinds of words like they're getting thrown off, or they're getting banned, or they're getting strikes, or copyright stuff, and all that. I don't know. I guess some of this came out of the whole Patreon banning people and stuff as well. I have to say, I do have a love-hate relationship with Patreon. I just love to hate them, but they just seem to be the best of a bad bunch at the minute in terms of getting some community financial help. And big thanks to everyone that's stuck with me on this one. Thanks to everyone that, you know, donates and helps out, because as I kind of alluded to at the beginning here, I wouldn't be able to do this without the community's support. So needless to say, thank you guys. DIY CCS charging. Another standard to learn. What was it Jack Rickard said? When you have enough standards, pretty soon there is no standard. So that's definitely seems to be applying to charging. I do have, just looking across at the shelves there, I do have a CCS inlet. So who knows, if I live long enough, I might eventually get to it. The super yacht's on the way. I've been kind of juggling how I'm going to do that build. As I said when I started out, just doing the introductory, like I didn't want it to be just another video series. I think I've done enough of those now. It's time for other people to fill the gap, I'd like to think. I was originally looking to do a kind of a 7-day, live stream type of a thing. I don't know if that's the way that I'm going to attack it. If anyone's any ideas on that, please do let me know. I'd like it to be, I don't know, I guess I'd like it to be something quick, something that people can kind of interact with. So I don't know, I haven't really figured out which way I'm going to jump with it. What other EV channels do I follow? Will be EVTV, be probably about the main one. Zero EV in the UK. There's actually not a lot, and this is one of the things that I do kind of despair a bit about, is there's not a lot of actual EV channels that do anything on YouTube. If you want to get a bunch of people sitting around behind a green screen talking, then you can have your pick of them, particularly as they'll all have the kind of Tesla clickbait. Rich Rebuilds would be the notable exception to that. Rich actually works rather than just putting bits of clip art up and talking junk for 10 minutes, and that's, to me, it's just junk channels. But that's about it. So probably EVTV, Zero EV, Rich Rebuilds. There's other general automotive channels that I follow, like Project Binky, Scanner Danner, stuff like that. They're all good general automotive knowledge, but there just doesn't seem to be people out there doing EV builds yet. Oh yeah, there's one new one. It's actually a customer of mine. Bought some Tesla boards for me there just before Christmas. I think the name of the channel is Tesla underscore Bimmer. Definitely check that guy out. He's doing an insanely nice E30 build with a large Tesla drive unit in it. Um, Definitely one of the ones to watch. Let's just say it's most definitely a step above my abilities from a fabrication point of view. Um, but yeah, it's kind of slim out there, guys. There's not a lot. Um, oh, EV West. Yeah, EV West did. EV West did do video stuff, but there's been only small bits and pieces out over recent times. So it'd be great to see them um, put out some more content. Um, DC quick charging a pack of less than 200 volts using the Prius Buck Boost. Yeah, I mean, back when I was doing the Chademo stuff, I looked at, I was coming up with all kinds of ideas about, how I would fool the fast charger into thinking it was working on a, 400 volt pack, but I'd somehow be able to have a magic box that would down convert the voltage for me. I guess it'd be possible. I mean, yeah, if I had infinite time and infinite resources, I guess I could. And, who knows, right? That being said, I have been running the Tesla Gen 2 charger in the land yacht now with a 192 volt pack for the last month or so quite successfully. I did have to make quite a few modifications to the software, but it's running very solid and very reliably now. So you do have that option. I think if your pack is around 190 nominally or so, you would be able to use a Gen 2 charger. Now I'm not sure about the Gen 3. The pack that I'm going to be using that on is most likely going to be a 400 volt pack. So, I may or may not get a chance to experiment with that, and I may or may not want to, as it's the only Gen 3 charger that I have. But yeah. So what else you got for me? Hard to build and video. It is, yeah. I don't know how I do it either. Can I display schematics? I'm sure I can. Pretty much everything's on my GitHub. Yeah, the Zoe pack's the 40. It was a 40 kilowatt hour pack. So I'm pretty much looking at the Zoe pack for the E65, the super yacht. 'Cause it's really compact. This thing will fit in the boot, and I can just build a little thing around it, and we're done. I mean, batteries are done. So that's going to be. I think if I do go that route for the E65, that is a 2.4 ton car, guys. So it's going to need it's going to need every watt hour that I can squeeze out of it. But I've also got some other batteries that I'm looking at too. You might see some of them over there. They're green cells in the corner. You might have seen them earlier. So I'm going to be looking at those potentially, I don't know, possibly for the E46 Touring, I'm not sure. But I'm concentrating at the minute, because it's kind of wintry and that we've got, just trying to stay indoors because health-wise I'm still pretty, I'm not 100% by any means, so I'm sitting on a heater here now because it's not very nice out of doors, and I guess that's what I'm working on the electronics in here for. What kind of amps do I think the Zoe batteries will put up with? I don't honestly know, but we'll find out. I mean, one of the things that I was quite surprised with was when I had the Nissan Leaf pack in the Panzer with the Siemens motor and that. We were pushing 120, 130 kilowatts on acceleration pulls, and that battery's fine to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I don't. How should I put this? I tend to let batteries be batteries. You know, I don't get upset if they get a bit warm. I don't get upset if they get a bit cold. I don't get upset if their voltage is a little bit, where the data sheet, some graph on a data sheet, says it should be and it's not, or something. So a lot of things influence batteries, and I think definitely in the DIY community, people tend to get themselves all out of sorts around third-party BMSs and things like that. I mean, one of the things that I would definitely not prescribe, okay, is to run modern cells like Tesla cells and, Zoe or Leaf or whatever without a battery monitoring system. But I think that one of the most important things to do is to have a means to use the existing battery monitoring system. And Tom Debris in the UK has done a fantastic design for a little board to let you use the Tesla and I think a few different other battery monitoring systems. I know EVTV have done a system for using Tesla's original battery monitoring. So I would definitely be saying to people, these aren't the kind of tame lithium iron phosphate cells. Like, I've had a pack of Cal 180 FIs in the E39 now without any battery management or balancing or anything for 5 years, and I'm not dead. But modern cells with different chemistries and much higher energy densities can't be kind of left that way. But by the same token, you've got to find your own balance. And I think sitting at a bench testing cells and observing them and staring at the paint drying is probably the best way to get that kind of knowledge. And it's actually, I think Dave is beginning to learn the hard way too on one of his projects. We've also got a build going on with Dave at the minute, and a little bit of a sneak preview. I've got a Range Rover P38 as well coming your way very soon. But yeah, batteries, I love them, but I don't worry about them probably as much as I should, or as much as other people do. Yeah, Prius inverters on the way, guys. Do I think incorporating supercapacitors is possible? Short answer, yes. If you can get them, sure. Are they worth it for a grocery getter? No. Are they worth it for a drag car? Yes. Were they worth it for a track car? Probably not. So it's, you know, it's horses for courses. It depends on what kind of a build that you're going for. So a lot of research has gone into super caps. I don't really keep up with a lot of the kind of press releasey type things on them, so I'm afraid I can't do much better than that. What batteries are in the Red Arrow? They are these Valence. I have a few of them up here on a shelf. That's why I'm looking up here. They're Valence 12 volt I think they're 130 amp hour. I've got 10 of them in there. Runs about 130 volts. Pretty simple type of a system. Now they do have some kind of built-in BMS, but like a lot of these things, it's one of these professional systems, and it's all encrypted and CAN bust and God knows what else. So I haven't really messed with it. I'm going to just bottom balance that pack and charge it and call it done, because they are lithium iron phosphate cells. What I might have to do is get rid of the BMS, because one thing I have noticed is it is severely starting to unbalance some of the batteries for me, even when it's just sitting there. Speaking of BMSs, Johannes has came up with another intriguing little design for one that I'm hoping to get some boards from him soon, so I can start doing some testing with that. So we'll keep you guys posted. Has the winter season allowed me to get a closer look at the Tesla MCU? Sadly not yet. It's sitting on the shelf above my head there. The winter's not over yet. Certainly not for a long few months to go, unfortunately. So I would say not yet would be the short answer. I do want to do something with that. I just haven't had the time, guys. It's been trying to keep the lights on here, keep myself from dropping dead, and keeping the projects, you know, keeping them. It's like playing whack-a-mole sometimes, you know, like I kind of whack one of them down, another one pops up, and there's projects everywhere. Did I say I was converting a P38? Yes, I did. Now, it's not for me, it's for a friend of a friend. I'm going to be doing kind of the power electronics side of it for him, but we'll be doing some videos on that for you guys, so that should be quite interesting. Just had to work out again the project schedule. So yeah, it's big. It's very big. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Any news on the wife's Prius project? Well, I'm hoping that she has the sound turned off now, but yeah, we are. Last we looked at that, we have the Gen 2 transaxle in there with the welded up power split device. I still have to refill that with fluid, which I have under the bench here. I'm going to start testing that, see if we can get MG1 and MG2 to play nice with me. They've played separately, so I'm hoping they'll play together. And then yeah, then we can move on with that. Now, I have a question for you internet guys, okay? Observe carbon brush from my trusty big 13-inch DC motor. One of 8 have worn down. I need to be replaced, and I'm wondering if anyone knows where, or could direct me to some source for carbon brushes, preferably those that actually really have them and don't just, you know, want to take $10,000 and make you wait 6 months. So anyone knows, answers on a postcard please, because I want to get that big DC motor back in business. So yeah. Well, I'm glad that how many Damien clones are how many Damien clones have I got? Quite a lot. I can donate you some batteries. That would be helpful. Oh, okay, you tried contacting me. Okay. Um, Apologies if I haven't gotten back to everyone. Um, just I get a lot of mails, guys. It can be hard to keep in touch, and also hard for me sometimes because one of the side effects of some of the medication that I have to take for my heart is that I get tired um, a lot earlier than I guess most people would. I mean, I'm coming up to 8 p.m. now, and I feel like I've been up 24 hours. So, yeah, sometimes I'm just not motivated to do emails, and I just see loads of emails. I just go, I can't do this. I'm going to bed. So, apologies for people that apologies, yeah, if I haven't been able to keep up with people that want to jump in and kind of help out and so on. Yeah, I'll send you a message. I probably actually better do that now pretty soon. So I'll do that now as soon as I sign off. That way I'll at least have some reminder about what I want to do. So that is kind of me going to wrap it up now, guys. Apologies I didn't get to show you the Grey Goose, but I will do. I'll do a video on that because, as I said, don't know what blinded me to think that I could just walk outside with the laptop and do an outside broadcast in, the middle of February at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. when it's dark. I don't know. I'm gonna trip over my throttle cable, preferably not. So, alrighty. Anything else you guys want to throw at me for a question? And I don't know, how do I even do this? I'm too old for this crap. Okay, the Caspars, I'll send you a message in a few minutes as soon as I tidy up the live stream here. So, what do you think, guys? Should I keep doing this or should I hang up the camera and go buy a diesel car like everyone else? Take 5 holidays a year, spend my money on wine, women and song, or car parts, inverters, cars, batteries, cheap midweek breaks, more inverters, battery cable, Android tablets. Go buy a power watcher. Not sponsored. Oh, that's great, Dave. Thanks. Yeah, yeah, great. V8 muscle cars. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. That's one thing I think I'd like to live in America. I know it sounds crazy probably, but I think I would. I don't know. It's just there's a really good, at least from my perspective, like there's a really thriving car scene there. We just do not have here, which is kind of sad. Yeah. Yeah, I would have to reprogram it. Oh, did I find any info on the Alpha 2? I did. Lots of people sent me a link to wiring, not a wiring diagram, but a pinout for the header, and we have managed to reverse engineer, I'd say about 90% of what I need from it. There's a video there, it's only about a week or two old, so go have a look at that. It's got to have all the detail in it. Move to Australia. Yeah, will definitely be warmer. Yeah, California'd work for me. I could do that. Would I recommend scaler for a 75 kilowatt async motor? On balance, probably, yeah. Now, that's a very generic question. It depends what you're trying to do with it. I think there's enough room for a lot of different kind of motor control schemes. Definitely, by my way of thinking anyway, the system developed by Johannes has opened up motor control to me. I think it has opened it up to a lot of people, such that we can actually, build our own inverters and tinker with them and modify them. Jesus, I mean, I'm even compiling the software for the damn thing, and that's, probably not a good thing, but I can actually do it. So yeah, I think you probably would. So yeah, all right. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up, and we will catch you in the next stream. Be back with some regularly scheduled videoing for you soon, hopefully with this thing running in the E46, or if not, there'll be a burnt out car to film. And then, I suppose Dave will at least get to haul something to the scrapyard. So until next time, don't do anything too crazy on me, and don't forget to dislike, unshare, and desubscribe, or do the inverse of that if you want to. I'll try to keep doing what I'm doing for as long as I can. You guys keep the compliments coming, because I'm ego driven to the max, and I have a really shitty ego. I need to be seriously pumped up here, otherwise I'm just going to flatline. Okay, so yeah, I should actually say this in a lot of the videos, like, don't forget to tell me how friggin' great I am, and then I'll, become, oh yeah, cool, I gotta do more of this. So I'll leave you guys there. Oh, movie recommendation. Okay, haven't done a movie recommendation for a while, but I've got one for you. Upgrade, 2018 low budget sci-fi film. This thing kicks ass. Okay, now Margaret tells me I'm like a 6-year-old film critic, but to me, goddamn cinematic masterpiece. Okay, watch that film. Right. See you guys next time. Watch that film, build more cars, video it, and put it on YouTube. Or if you don't agree with YouTube's convoluted copyright crap, put it somewhere and send me a link to it. And if there's any other place I can go to post videos that isn't going to cost me $1 zillion, then tell me about that too. And if there's anything other way that I can use to finance this craziness other than Patreon, then let's try to find that way too. So see, I'm starting to fall asleep now, so the mind is starting to wander, so I better click the stop streaming button. See you next time. Where's that pesky stop streaming button? Ah, here it is.